Now to the Democratic presidential field, growing larger this morning as former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg makes it official, announcing he is running for president. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
This morning, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg announcing he's in the race for president.
Jobs creator, leader, problem solver, Mike Bloomberg for president.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Dropping more than $37 million on a TV ad campaign, the largest in the 2020 campaign cycle so far.
My staff just told me that Mayor Bloomberg's going to put millions of dollars in ads. So am I tomorrow. No, I'm not.
Those ads set to kick off today will air in several key states as Bloomberg eyes a presidential bid about 10 weeks before the first vote is cast.
I understand that rich people are going to have more shoes than the rest of us. They're going to have more cars than the rest of us. They're going to have more houses. But they don't get a bigger share of democracy.
In the fight to beat President Trump, sources close to Bloomberg say he's concerned no one in the field can get the job done. And if he opts in, he not only thinks he can, but he's willing to spend as much money as it takes to do it. But some Democratic candidates are firing back, accusing the billionaire of trying to buy the election.
Mr. Bloomberg, to the best of my knowledge, has very little grassroots support. Democracy means that billionaires cannot buy elections.
At this point in the race, some undecided voters were hoping the crowded field would narrow down by now.
A lot of them have very similar positions, so it's really hard.
I think we have candidates out there that are good. Don't need anyone else in the race.
And Bloomberg will have to win over undecided voters like those, but he does not need their cash. He plans to self-fund his campaign. His advisor telling me he has never accepted a single dollar in political contributions and does not plan on starting now. Tom?
Completely self-funded. All right, Rachel Scott. And on that point, let's bring in George Stephanopoulos, our chief anchor. He'll be hosting this week later today. Now, George.
I'm just chuckling at Rachel saying he doesn't need their cash. I think that's an understatement.
Oh, yeah, completely. So, George, we just heard in Rachel's story, he's going to spend north of $30 million this week alone. The other campaigns are attacking him. They would love to have that financial freedom, but there's a real danger here. Jeb Bush sort of did the same thing. He raised this massive war chest, and it bought him little support.
Yeah, perhaps. But listen, I think we just have to start out by saying this is unlike anything we've ever seen before in presidential politics. Michael Bloomberg's worth at least $50 billion. We're reporting that he's going to spend in this first week alone $38 million. It's a lot more than that. We don't know the full numbers yet. The scale that he's talking about is unlike anything we've ever seen before. And what he's trying to do is basically turn March 3rd, Super Tuesday, into a national primary. Now, you're exactly right. Does money guarantee support? Absolutely not. Are there questions about whether Michael Bloomberg is a real Democrat? You're going to see those questions raised by other candidates. But this is, I think what he's doing here is throwing out the rule book with his bank book, and we're going to have to see what happens coming forward.
And this brings up my next question. You know, the qualifications for the debate demand a certain amount of unique donors. He has one donor himself. Does he go to the debate then?
I don't think he's going to be in that first debate. I think in December, after he gets in this week, I think that's unlikely. Remember, his plan is to skip those first four states, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, make a big splash on Super Tuesday. It's a big gamble, and Bloomberg and his team admit that it's a big gamble. What they're banking on is the idea that Democrats still care more than anything else about electability, that he would be the most electable candidate against George W. Bush, and that they're looking to win.
Okay, on impeachment briefly, George, we saw that Rudy Giuliani has reemerged, and also this news that potentially one of his associates is working with some of the investigators in the impeachment. We saw a long week of testimonies, but this is still getting started.
Oh, absolutely. You've got many more steps to go in impeachment. Now the Intelligence Committee has to write a report. The Judiciary Committee has to consider articles of impeachment. Then it has to go to the House floor. And then, of course, if the House votes to impeach, which looks likely right now, you have the Senate trial, which could go all the way through January, maybe even into February. And one of the big questions is going to be, will new information come out during that time frame? Will new witnesses be compelled to testify? That's the big wild card right now.
And Americans dealing with primaries and possibly impeachment. All right, George, thanks so much. And tune into This Week later this morning. George breaks down the impeachment hearings with our expert legal panel. Plus, he speaks with 2020 candidate Senator Amy Klobuchar, fresh off her debate performance. That's all coming up on This Week.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.